I basically cut through what I would have learned by going on that trip. So,
Yeah, yeah,
ah,
very good.
hey
Good.
everyone, how's it going? Long time no see.
Uh,
We've been busy. It was the end of the summer. All that good. We're right here, right now.
yeah.
um, yeah, no, it's. I was just saying to him like a second ago. There's this guy, Viselli, Vitelli, that was. I went to his breathwork workshop about a month ago, a little over a month ago, and in that time, like I was kind of had abandonment issues because of like family and like all those things that I've experienced when I was younger. I was able to work through like my abandonment issues in the last month, and I've just spent the last month kind of figuring out who I am post that. So that's kind of why I haven't been too dedicated to doing this. So, but yeah, no, it's I'm actually feeling a lot better after that, and also I've just kind of been figuring out how I want to show up in the world versus who I was beforehand. So it was kind of good taking a little bit of time off to. How are you doing, Dolores? Yeah, no, so that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to, Yosef?
I've done some good integration. There was one of
Yeah.
our lives was about integration,
Hmm.
and I took the last couple months since we returned from our trip,
Nice.
to just let it all happen, not push so much and try
Uh-huh.
too hard, but just to let it happen, and
Yeah,
it
no,
does.
the last couple months have just been very intense, but like integrative, and like it brought everything together. So
Yeah, I mean, I've done. I did renovated two apartments and ran around and did my thing and family stuff. But overall, I feel it's much easier at ease
yeah,
instead of pushing so hard. Just let it happen, and it kind of does.
yeah, it usually happens better if you just kind of if you let it go naturally versus trying to like force the next thing to happen.
Yes.
Um,
Well, I got 4 out of my 5 items today on the list, so that's not bad.
cool. Um, and we already have a fair amount of people watching today, so I'm gonna. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's jump on in and make sure you write your comments in the chat box, and we'll get to them. And
Give me a minute
um,
to pull a pen here.
okay, and remember, keep it respectful. Keep the more personal stuff would be more done in a personal reading. Ask more general questions that pertain to the larger group of people, not just like the simple stuff or the more personal stuff that would be more done in like more of a personal reading kind of environment. So you guys ready?
And we chose Equinox today because it's the equinox is this Sunday.
Yeah.
The equinox is the time where the daytime and the nighttime are equal. So we're switching from the la of summer to more of a forward-looking, inward-thinking, getting ready for winter. Days getting shorter all the way to the shortest day of the year, and then it starts again.
Mm-hmm. All the cycles, all the fun.
That's right. And today it's tabula rasa. Today I didn't bring any questions. I'm gonna have some
We'll just
ideas.
kind of go.
We'll see where it
We'll
goes.
just kind we'll just go for it, and we'll see what happens. I'll see you guys I'll see you I'll see you guys afterwards.
Thank you, Kenneth.
How are you today?
We're very well. How are you? Welcome, Ethan.
Perfect. And you?
We're fantastically well. What would you have for us today, please?
We would like you to draw into and pay attention to the idea of integration more closely as you have been working through in these past few months of your time. We would ask you, as a people, as a time and understanding, that you are working through the idea of integration on a much more personal level. The idea of how you show up in the world is more at present because you're giving yourself the time and space to work through these kind of things, whether it is your emotional, spiritual, or physical, how you physically show up for your relationships. That is the keystone, the idea, the place where you as a being and all of you as a collective need to decide what is right for you. Give yourself the time and space to decide that your presence in most in all situations that you incorporate and allow yourself to be part of is more important. Understand that the way you say yes to the world is how you show up for the world and for the people around you. Understand that the way you say no to the world and no to other people and no to yourself is how you show up for yourself. Look at these types of ways. If someone senses in you a strong yes, they will generally, as a collective, as a general principle, allow themselves to fully move into a open space for you and everyone else to be able to fully integrate and fully move into a state of being that allows you as a soul, as a being, to fully integrate these particular understandings that we've delivered to you.
Thank you. Why would you say that how you show up physically to the world is the key, is the first one?
Your physical actions.
Okay, let me expand on that a little bit. Physical actions. What about I go to meet some people or I just leave the house to get coffee? Does it matter if I'm frumpy or I'm well dressed and clean?
Yes. How are you showing up to be in those relationships with other people? How are you
Right.
physically showing up and displaying yourself to the world and allowing yourself to be connected to everything around you?
Yes.
Do you feel fully yourself when you are frumpy, as you put it?
Right. Yeah, some people do, and some people. I guess if you feel good about yourself, and if the clothes are there to help you feel that on some level, that's a good
Yes.
start.
Yes.
Yes.
That is a particular way of looking at it. That is a particular way of understanding it.
Yes.
Give yourself the opportunity to decide how you would like to show up for the world. Is your yes strong? Is your no weak? Those internal states that you have as a person, as a full being that allows you to show up in the way that you need to, is that true? Are you just saying no just to say no? Or are you showing up to say yes to the world? A strong no is better than a weak yes. How you show up to the relationships in your life, whether it is your partner, your children, your work life, these things themselves are important. How you show up to yourself in all aspects of your life, all days of the week, every moment of your life.
Absolutely. How you perceive yourself, how you conduct yourself, and how you would project yourself into any environment you're in, even if you're by yourself in the room.
Yes.
Yes. And this reminds me of a phrase that I know from my childhood, and it goes something like, "It's better to be a tail to the lions than a head to the wolves."
Yes.
Meaning, And I think this relates. It's more of how do you show up to the world, and what kind of values and morals do you bring, and you'd rather stick to those who propel you forward to that group, even if you're just a student, than lead the pack of the not so good people.
But the wolves in themselves are not negative.
Right. By themselves, they're not. Absolutely.
Remember, in all places, in all times, in all places, not everything that you interpret as a species is necessarily negative.
True. I agree. I have a question here from Mary, Ethan.
Yes.
I'll bring it up. Am I allowed to be absolutely me even if I offend others? Or do I have to be polite and avoid hurting myself?
What do you determine and describe as hurting yourself? Is what we would ask. When you are not showing up as yourself, you are typically hurting yourself. When you are honest, if you care about another person's feelings, the way they look, but honestly, to be able to fully show up in any relationship, you need to fully be yourself and not be controlled by how other people see you.
Right. And thank you. And I think today more than ever, there's a contrast between opinions,
Yes.
and it seems that some people are willing to listen, and some people are absolutely not willing to listen to others, even if they're empirically, scientifically, completely just off, just wrong. And then they resort to personal attacks because the cognitive dissonance is too much for them to say, I was wrong, the reality is actually of a different nature.
They feel weak.
They feel weak.
Those who attack you typically feel weak. Those who attack you and call you rude for fully being yourself, they themselves feel small. Therefore, they will try to make you feel small.
Yes, thank you. And I think that would be the answer for Mary.
Yes.
Mary wrote something
It is
else.
more, we would also add to this, it is rude to yourself to not fully show up as well.
Come again, please.
If you do not fully show up as who you are, that is rude in itself as well.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you.
Give yourself the time and space to show up as yourself in all situations, in all moments of time. Give yourself the opportunity to decide whether or not you would like to fully have a relationship with a particular person by allowing yourself to be fully integrated as a person instead of trying to hide away in nothingness.
Yes,
No one
absolutely.
will fully have a true relationship with you until you fully show up as yourself 100%. And when they fully see that version of you, they can decide from there, I like this person that I see in front of them.
Yes, that is correct, and it's very evident these days. The we spoke about this before, that the interactions are more intense, seem to be, and relationships, whatever they are, seem to be, some of them seem to be quite short.
Yes. Many of those relationships that you're referring to be quite short are typically there just to guide you or to give you some piece of information. They were never meant to be a season, only there for a particular reason to get you go a particular direction.
Yes, I see that more and more now.
Yes.
At the same time, when I spoke about this with someone this summer, and the response was, "But I want friends for a long term. I'm lonely if people just come and go out of my life so quickly."
Yes.
Well, I personally don't feel lonely even if I haven't spoken to anyone the whole day, but I can see why this person would say that, because we're used to, humans are social creatures, and during the last 4 or 5 years we got separated, and it seemed to be a bit more difficult to find people that would appreciate you for who you are, and vice versa.
They don't appreciate themselves.
Mm, yes.
Typically, people who come from a state of being and feeling abandoned in the world, they will have more of the idea of everyone around them is abandoning them. They are not fully accepted into the world. So they will see rejection everywhere around them.
Thank you. That's good.
No, thank you. Thank you all for accepting yourself. Thank you all for being willing to show up in every situation that we provide to you and giving yourself the chance to decide what kind of world you would like to live in. What kind of reality would you like to allow yourself to exist in all situations, in all times?
Mhm. Thank you. Okay, I've got a few questions for you here. Let's see. This is another topic, but Rico Sigma, please speak on alcohol, socially, and natural antibiotics.
Alcohol, socially, as a particular energy that comes with that particular substance, you are taking on the energy of the condensed substance. When you refer to the idea of spirits, you are taking on the essence of that particular frequency that moves along with that substance. Socially speaking, many of you are inhabited by these particular types of spirits that are kind of hijacking your understanding and your social cues. So you are falling into a particular experience that you are not completely in control of yourself.
Thank you. And these spirits you speak of, and I've heard that before, are there thought patterns or are they actual existing energies by themselves?
Existing energies.
Okay. So we have to be very, very cautious around these energies.
Yes, just like everything that you eat as well.
Yes.
You take on the energy of anything that you consume, whether it's physical matter or energetic matter.
Yes. Would you say that a small amount of alcohol in an environment, for example, a husband and wife having dinner with a glass of wine, would that be okay, you think, or could that evoke spirits as well?
Anything in moderation is fine. Typically, but not always, but typically, how many humans do you know that only slightly indulge in substances?
Right. Get your point. Thank you. So this summer, I took to heart your advice about integration that came a few months ago, and I really let things happen. And I wanted to
Yeah.
share this with you, and thank you for your guidance here. And I've tried, perhaps for the first time in my life, to allow things to happen more than to force them. I spent more time sitting at the park enjoying the moment. I found myself that I was less on the screen, still a lot, but less on the screen, and more in the moment at the park. Um, but is that the right thing to do? Perhaps I should be busy all day and try to make some money.
Are you able to live your life?
Yes, it's everything seemed to be falling into place. Either way,
Was the world falling apart?
no, the other way. Everything was a lot more calm.
Because you were in a state of allowing, you were allowing yourself to fully be present, fully be yourself. It was giving you more of an opportunity to be open to more of who you are, more of what you have to bring to the world. Because you are living in more of that natural flowing state, you are more open to the ideas that can come through when you live in that way.
Thank you. I did notice that the world around me has, even though all the news personally, the world around me is very calm. And I'm downtown, large city. There's people screaming and yelling for all kinds of reasons here, but I just walk around it.
Yes, you are fully more living in your existence. You are fully living in your power. You're fully being present with yourself and everyone around you.
Thank you. I've also noticed that I was able to help people a lot better. Mostly on the street. I talk to a lot of these people. They're like barely in the world. They may be living in shelters or stuff like that, and mostly men, and they're great guys. Um, and I was able to speak with them on the street. A friendly chat, and no alcohol during the day, and make a point. And then the other day, I had a friend over, and then that friend confided with me a very serious situation she's going through at the time. And then I found myself for an entire day listening. I thought we'll have like a friendly day, maybe play some sports or something like that. But it ended up that I was an ear for hour after hour after hour. And then I thought to myself, am I doing this person a service, or am I doing myself a disservice? Where's the point where I've given enough and I should go about my day? And I wasn't able to make that observation.
Was it causing you harm?
Not at all. Just time.
Did you show up in the way that she needed you?
Absolutely.
Do you feel like the world is better because you were able to give this person what they needed in the moment?
That's a good question. I hope so. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened after, but I hope so.
How did you show up for her? Were you fully yourself?
I was fully myself. I listened. I listened carefully. I was a good host. I gave a little bit of advice, not much, because I didn't feel that my friend was in a position to listen really.
Yeah.
Quite emotionally upset.
Yes.
Um, Went for a long walk. Sat on the balcony. And listened mostly.
When you fully show up as yourself and not trying to be something you're not, it's much more easy to just listen to others.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do feel that throughout my life, people listen to me yapping about my own trouble for so long. So, in a way, I was happy I was able to listen to someone about their own problems. I didn't feel that the person made any advancement or really change anything. But in the
That you
moment,
know
I should feel a bit better,
that
huh?
you know of.
No, not that I know.
You may have in that moment changed everything for her just by showing up and being yourself.
That's true. That's true.
In that moment, you may have shown her something that she has never received before.
That is true.
When you fully authentically show up as yourself, there is stillness, there is peace, there is a state of being that allows you to be fully engaged with all of those around you. When you are not faking about who you are and what you are, it is much more easy for you to be able to be present for all of those around you.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. I have a question here from Matthias Layton. What planet collided with the Earth in order to create the moon?
That particular body did not have a name. It was at the creation of your star system. You understand that there were many, many, many small planets that existed in your early solar system when it was being created.
Yes.
There was a version of Earth that pre-existed that did not have a moon.
And the moon showed up later?
The moon showed up as a creation of the debris that happened post the moon being created and that planet crashing into your Earth.
Do you mean that a, a planet crashed into the Earth and the debris of that planet became the moon?
Yes.
I see.
Also, much of the debris that was ejected from your planet when that planet crashed into your Earth, your planetary sphere, was ejected out into space. And now, what you see in front of you out in your outer space area is the remnants of that ejection from that planet landing and crashing into your Earth.
And by that, do you refer to objects floating in space?
Yes, the moon, your
Right.
moon.
Okay. Are there any fractions, small little rocks still around, or no?
No, not in your orbit. The only smaller asteroids that you have that are in your orbit are much further out, and they are much smaller and do not pertain to the creation of your planet.
Okay, so they got into orbit because they got pulled in somehow.
Yes.
I see. Okay, thank you.
You understand that your planet has quite a bit of gravity?
Yes.
Well, when a piece of debris like an asteroid is weak enough, it will enter into your space. If you look into your sky currently, there is a small asteroid that has been pulled into a small orbitary period
Mm-hmm.
right now. It is a larger asteroid, not nearly the size of your moon, but it is a quite large body that is in orbit right now that you can see, maybe not with the naked eye, but you can see it through various means.
Thank you.
That did not come from your planet.
Right. Are there many objects floating in space or flying in space?
Yes,
Debris of sorts?
yes.
Yeah.
Your star system is quite large.
Mm-hmm.
It is small in scale, but it is quite large in your understanding.
Right. What about Nibiru or Planet X that Zachariah Sitchin was speaking of?
That particular planet that he speaks of in that book does not actually exist in your solar system.
Does it exist at all?
Yes, but not inside your system.
Right.
You
And
do
since
have another planet in your system, but it is very, very, very far out.
okay, yet to be discovered, I assume.
Yes, they are in the process of discovering where it is,
Mm-hmm.
but it is much further out than the idea of your miniature planet Pluto.
Okay, very good.
It is also quite large, that
It is
particular
large.
planet,
Okay.
because it is as it travels through your Kuiper belt, the debris that is on the outside of the inner planets in your system, it grows as it moves through that belt because it is constantly being bombarded by debris as it moves through that sector of space.
Thank you. The channel mentioned to me that there's a lot of sightings recently.
Yes.
I was hoping to see a couple, but I think today was a balloon in the air. I'm pretty sure it was, and the other day was a plane. But I, there are quite a few sightings.
Yes. These are increasing in frequency, correct?
Yes. From your perspective, how are they being received?
Quite positively. The
And
idea that you are not dispatching your military, you are not freaking out, you are not having breakdowns with the idea of extraterrestrials existing outside of your solar system that might be here, which we are.
Mhm. Okay. And also, I think it's common knowledge now that no jets can chase any of these extraterrestrial crafts.
No, we can avoid your technology quite easily.
I did see, and I believe it's in the channel. There's a video. I think it's from a radar of the
Yes.
flight MH370, and you can see three orbs floating
Yes.
around the plane, back and forth, and then the plane poofs. It's like a little flash of light, and the plane disappears.
Yes.
Completely disappears.
Yes.
What are these orbs, and what happened to the plane?
The plane was shifted out of this dimension.
And what are those three orbs that were circling the plane?
You understand that many of our ships come in different sizes.
Yes.
They were ships
Why did that plane need to be lifted elsewhere?
because it was necessary. Do you want a specific reason?
Yes, please.
We cannot give you a specific reason at this time. It is not necessary for you to understand or be in a place where you would actually comprehend this particular purpose.
Okay.
We do not tell you the information that is not necessary for you to work through or move through the current stage that you are at. Understand that it is a mystery. We do not sell you these things to be condescending. We do not tell you any of these things to say you are not worthy of having the particular understanding that goes with these things. But we would like you to know that there are many things going on at this time that your people and our people have been going and working through that are not ready for your people to be aware of.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. I sometimes tell my daughter, like she asked me a question or I tried, and I said, what, that's just too far of a jump.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when you're ready. So absolutely no offense taken here.
Yes, you are going through that process currently.
Hmm. How do you see if there is a shift in consciousness around the planet?
The fact that we are showing more ships to you more frequently and there is not a mass hysteria happening like there was even a short time ago, the fact that you have elevated and worked through more of your issues as a collective and allowing yourself to be at a higher frequency more often, that tells us you are raising your frequency because you are getting to a level where you can fully more holistically integrate and interact with us and have us say hello more often.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all for doing the work that you have come here to do.
Yes, it seems that everyone I meet is on a journey these days. Every single
Yeah.
person I meet.
You are all on very similar frequencies, so you are given the chances to decide how you would like to live.
Yes, and that's the reason that I felt more comfortable this summer to be a little bit more laid back. I somehow had the realization of knowing that everything is taken care of, and I'm being given the time to do this work.
Yes. If you're being called to do more and higher level work, you'd be given more opportunities and more things would be showing up more rapidly.
Thank you. I'll tell you one more thing before I take a couple more questions here. Um, The channel, I had a bit of a break, which was great because I was so busy during the summer and tending to my daughter and all that stuff, and the channel had its own work to do. But at some point, maybe a week ago, I put a call to you, Ethan, and I said, Ethan, I'd like you to inquire with the channel, maybe encourage him to go back online. And
He received it.
well, 2 days later, he asked me to go live. I mean,
He received it.
thank you.
You are quite connected at this point in your frequency. So he does hear many of the calls that you put out for him to speak with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And vice versa, I'm sure.
Thank you for showing up. Thank you for allowing him to do his part, and thank you for you doing your part.
Thank you. This is, we're here. We're all here.
Yes, we are all here together.
Thank you. Mary's asking, how do you deal with your ego so that it doesn't get in your way?
By dealing with the issues that you have come to work on, deal with the themes that you have been working through. Instead of running away from the lessons, allow yourself to be fully engaged and allow yourself to be fully willing to look at the lessons for what they are, even if they are not pretty at times. Be open to the idea of those things that may not necessarily serve you. Be willing to show up and let them move away from you.
Thank you. Mary asking, can you tell us something about the inner child?
The inner child is your purest aspect. It is the fullest part of you that is fully engaged. It is the part of you that is the closest to source, to all that is. It is closer to the idea of what you are as a being naturally, beyond just your physical form that you currently see in front of you. It is the whole of your being. It is the aspect of you that is the purest of all. But many of you have had much trauma in your life, so you as beings do not fully trust it. And many of you as beings have not given yourself a chance to heal that inner child and integrate that aspects of yourself.
Yes. I would say that the people that had the misfortune of growing up to an abusive parent or environment or parents.
That was not misfortune.
No?
No.
What
You
was that?
pick the circumstances and times and places to incarnate because those, in a sense, are the lessons and the themes that you picked out for yourself. You can have sympathy for those people, but they did choose those experiences.
Okay, so we all chose our experience. So it's a sort of destiny once you come here,
It is a school.
a school.
Everything you experience is the classroom. Every person you interact with, every moment that you live, every theme that you work through. The destiny is that you will have the experience and you will learn the lesson.
Is it sort of graduation?
You are in a very hard school.
Yeah. Are we doing okay? Dolores, the solar storms we are experiencing, are they updating our DNA? I apologize if I've asked before.
Yes. Usually those feelings and ideas that you have in your mind are there for a reason. You intuited the lesson and the idea that was being expressed to you as you move through the dimensional gateway up to higher frequencies. It'll become more and more obvious, and the idea of your intuition will become more refined the more you use it.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Much in the way that you were able to connect to the channel, the conduit. He heard it. It'll become more and more common that more of you have telepathic communications where you get the idea to have a session like this, where you decide, I'm going to go to hang out with this person, go spend time around these people. Give yourself an open opportunity to know that when you might be thinking of someone, they're also thinking of you because you are at the level as a frequency, as a people, where you are able to more easily connect to the other aspects of yourself, connect to the other people in your reality. Take it as the barometer, as you have asked.
Yes. Thank you. Oh, another one from Mary here. In August, there should be, I think she wants to say there were many sightings of UFOs during the meteor showers.
Yes.
Where were the most sightings? I haven't seen any.
Typically, those were in South America and many of the southern continents.
Thank you. I would add that my friend, my daughter, and myself drove to Lake Simcoe, Ontario. It's about 90, 100 kilometers north of Toronto, and we lay down on the beach
Yes.
during the night, and we managed to get a spot which wasn't lit too bad, and we did see quite a few meteors. We didn't see any other objects, but we did see quite a few meteors.
They were there.
I'm sure they were. I did put a call to them, but we couldn't see them.
Do you know that we are there talking to you all the time?
Absolutely.
Do you actually need to see us in person?
Personally, no, but I think it could be cool.
If you needed to actually see us, we would show ourselves.
I see. Okay.
We do not want to become your crutch by having to see us, by having to experience us, by having to know that we're there, by showing up. We do not desire to be a crutch for anyone.
Yes. Even when I put a call out, which is a heart and mind call, the answer, and the more I do it, the clearer and the more quickly the answer would come. But how do I know that it is coming from outside of me? It's not another layer of my personality as if showing me that I'm getting the answer from outside, but really just a part of me.
It's always part of you. All those different aspects that you see outside of you are merely reflections of you. All of you. You are all aspects of all that is. So therefore, you are getting the opportunity to decide what and who you are. You are having interactions with us currently.
Yes.
There you go.
Right. So on that level, you represent an aspect of me, since I'm the whole.
Yes.
So there's nothing outside of me, because I'm the whole. Therefore, everything else that I'm interacting with is aspects of me.
Yes. It is a reflection.
Right. But at some point, there's another person who's physically there.
Yes. As you are shifting into higher frequencies, you are having more and more opportunities to have more face-to-face interactions. The idea of things manifesting quicker into your reality is happening currently. It may not show up the way you expect it to, but it is happening.
Absolutely.
It is showing up in the form that it needs to. Need versus want.
Yes. Yesterday I saw my friend Tom, and around the early afternoon or noon time, and I shared a bit of food with him. We sat here on the balcony, and I shared some food. It was great, and then we each went on our way, and we ended up meeting downstairs because we're neighbors. And I said, Tom, we shared that sandwich this morning, or was it yesterday? He says it was yesterday. I go, no, it was today. And these few hours seem a whole day suddenly.
because you experienced that amount of time in a very short period of time. This is an acceleration.
Yes.
Sounds fantastic.
It was a great sandwich. Okay. Rosemary is saying hi.
Hello.
Hello, Rosemary. And Dolores is saying, since my parents have transitioned and my husband, I have learned more and more why we were together.
Fantastic.
I know when I know when, and then she says, I know when my deceased husband is near.
Yes.
That's it.
Congratulations. You're perceiving more of what's around you already.
Right.
Don't take us as heartless when we say these things to you, that we are saying that it is sad that they are gone. But the fact that you have raised your level to where you can perceive them more reticently gives you the opportunity to decide whether or not you want to continue the relationship that you had while they were physical.
Right.
Be open to the possibility that things change and change shape, whether you see them that way or not. You are being given opportunities to decide how you would like to show up, how you would like to live in your existence, in your way of being, because you are more open to the idea of these things being possible. You are given the connection that happens in that realization and that understanding.
Yes, absolutely. And I have to tell you, since less than a year that we've been doing this, I do sense that more and more people are exactly on that wave that you are describing.
Yes,
Myself and probably the channel too.
yes.
Yes.
Many of the people that have reported sessions with us say they feel a more sense of peace and calmness and fully being themselves more openly and honestly in more situations.
Yes, absolutely.
This is a natural side effect of living this way. Fully showing up in your presence, fully showing up in your being. It gives you an opportunity in all times, all places to decide who and what you are in all moments.
Yes.
Relax.
Yes,
Relax into the idea of what your future is.
absolutely. I met earlier today. I met a friend, and he said something that I could sworn came out of your mouth. He got himself in a bit of a financial bind with some project that he was working on, and
Yes.
I saw him and I said, I'll skip his name, but I said, "You look fantastic." He goes, I just live my life and life is amazing. And yes, I have this issue, but it's not gonna stop me from living my life. Even if it's in my entire life savings, I worked on it for 25 years, even if it all goes, I'm not really concerned about it.
These are an example of living in your full being.
Yes.
You're open to the idea of things changing and things growing. It may not happen how you want it to, but it's happening.
It
This
is
is what you've
happening.
been asking for, all of
Yeah.
you.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, there's a real shift that we can feel happening individually and collectively.
Yes. This is exciting.
It is absolutely exciting. There's nothing more exciting than to see the world changing and your ability to be a part of it.
Yes. Your world will take years to change, but in the grand scheme of things, that is the blink of an eye.
Yes, absolutely. Rosemary is asking, is the secret space program true? Is Tony Rodriguez's story, I'm not sure who that is Tony Rodriguez's story true of being in space program? Thanks.
Yes, it's true. There are several different space programs around the world of reverse engineered technology. I believe you sent a video of a craft to the
Absolutely.
channel earlier.
That's right.
The fact that you could fully see it should tell you that it was not one of ours.
Yes, yes, you mentioned that before. Thank you.
Because
Uh,
your ships do not shift out of your reality.
right. And for our audience now and later, I would mention that I've sent a photo, a post of a human-made craft, which is triangular and black in nature.
Yes, these are reverse engineered craft. They have progressed quite far, but they are still just human made.
Right.
Many of the ships that are ours are very blurry when you try to take pictures of them because they are not fully shifted into your reality.
Yes. The object I've seen today, just flying up here, was it a balloon? If you
Yes,
know, it was a
yes,
balloon.
yes,
The funny part is, I was up at the rooftop at the pool, and I aimed the phone. And I tried to capture it, and then when I zoomed in, it pixelated so bad that it became 4 pixels. And I said, "Well, I still think it was a balloon, even though it was just a small
it,
square.
it was it was a balloon.
It was a balloon." Okay, that's
But
good.
your eyes many times are able to see much further than your technology can. That is in your consumer grade technology.
Yes, 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 yes. My eyes did believe it was a balloon. Uh, Ethan, another question here. A few nights ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, I had a dream, and I saw my father and his late brother, my uncle, in the dream. They're just standing there, and I felt there. And my father is alive, God bless him, and his brother passed about 15 years ago, was older, and I
Yes,
felt a lot of warmth and encouragement from them.
yes, you were interacting with them on a higher level.
Somebody asked me, I told about that dream to someone. They said, if you see people in the dream, does that mean they're going to die?
No, no. You may be just interacting with those beings that you knew as your father or as your uncle or as your niece or your nephew or your mother or your father. Many times you are just interacting with the higher aspect of themselves. They are putting themselves in a cloak of energy and an image that you recognize to your physical mind. And many times they are just popping in to say hello.
Yes. And it was the first time ever interacting this way, and in the dream,
Yes.
I believe I had the realization in the dream. I was wondering what that is, and then I felt that very warm, loving, supporting energy flowing from them.
Yes. You're perceiving the higher aspect of themselves.
Yes. I would describe them as kind of a Obi-Wan Kenobi, like Jedi Knights, just standing there. By way of standing there, they gave me that blessing.
You had more of an interaction with them, but you do not remember it. Because the type of communication that you have in that state is much faster and is not necessarily something your physical mind can actually interpret.
Right. Was there any guidance, information, or instructions given?
There was, but you have already lived it out.
Sorry?
There was, but you have already lived it out.
Okay. Thank you.
All of you, all of you, as we would instruct you and ask you to simplify the communication. The less complicated you make the instructions, the more information you'll be able to get out of interactions such as that.
Right. Thank you. Dolores. I dreamed of getting married to my deceased husband a few nights ago. It was beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you.
We would ask at this time to take 3 more questions.
Okay, I'll wait for the chat to see if we have any questions coming. But I would like to ask you, Ethan, regarding more sightings and what would be the next, or when would be the next interaction, perhaps. Um, Let me rephrase, larger sightings, more of group sightings, a group of people can see, clearly cannot deny it.
These are happening right now.
That already happened.
They're happening, not happen. They're happening. It'll become more and more common by the time we land, by the time we show ourselves to you en masse. You will have risen and raised your frequency to the point where you can actually interact with us more easily. It must go in stages.
Yes. Do you believe that our generation can do that? Is our DNA able to rise to that frequency?
I do not believe anything. I know that you can interact with us.
Very good. Thank
You
you.
would not be having these types of interactions if you had not risen up to the particular level.
I see. Thank you. Okay.
You understand that the idea that there are many channels that are happening around your world currently shows you that there are many people moving up to the level where many of you can start to have these types of interactions much more freely, much more openly.
Yes.
You understand that around your world, previously, you needed a group of people to chant and get a person into a state for hours before they would be even able to connect with someone like us or higher level frequencies.
Yes.
That should tell you, because these are becoming much more common and on a much wider scale, that you have reached the point where you are having these types of interactions much, much more frequently.
Thank you. I see what you mean. Okay, I've got a couple more questions here and we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay. Dolores, can we connect with Ethium ourselves?
You can connect with my energy. You can use me as a simulacrum to talk to your higher mind, which is what you're actually doing.
Very good.
We would also say, as we said prior to this, that when you are interacting with us, you're interacting with your higher mind. We are just here to allow you to get used to the idea and give yourself the opportunity to decide how you would like to connect. There is a particular person that is watching this right now that has seen images of the channel in his dreams when he is talking to us. This is just a particular way of doing it, so they are able to connect more openly to themselves.
Thank you, Ethan. Would you like to conclude and summarize for today?
Yes. The main idea we would like for you to get across at this time, and we are speaking this way on purpose, look at how you show up in your relationships. Look at how you interact with those around you, how you project yourself to those, and how they treat you is how you make them feel. How you show up for the people in your life and yourself is reflective of how you feel about yourself. When you fully show up as yourself in all situations, you will have more true relationships with everyone around you. We bid you good day.
Thank you very much. Good day.
Wow, my room got dark. I hope you all have a great day. It was good coming back. We'll be doing more of these very quickly. Just want to say like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And